Welcome to Kay's Tiny House, where I am building my very own tiny house. It's been a hot minute since my last update, but it took us a month and a half to finish covering up all the insulation in the house with the interior walls. It looks so good. I am so happy with the way it turned out. To me, there were three options with the interior siding. I could do drywall, which is the most affordable, but it's heavy and it cracks during transportation. So those were things that were workaroundable, repairable, but just things to think through. Second was tongue and groove siding, and that I liked a lot, but it would have been really expensive with how much I needed because I needed to cover the ceilings and all the walls. Also, I didn't 100% love like the aesthetic. I think it's cute if you're going for like a cabin vibe, but I think I was going more for like a modern vibe. So that's where I ended up with option 3, which was just using plywood as like paneling to cover up all the insulation. And there was a concern about like the seams not looking so great, but I think because most of the seams will be hidden by cabinets and furniture, any that appear, if I don't like them, then I'll just be creative and find a way to cover them up. So I wasn't too concerned about that. Plywood, as far as cost, was like really in the middle of drywall and tongue and groove. I ended up using 1/2-inch plywood, birch that was pre-sanded, ready to be painted. I got the plywood from a local lumber place, and because of how many I needed, I ended up buying 45. I estimated 40, so I knew I needed some surplus. It ended up being more affordable than Home Depot, so that was an easy sell. And then when we got there, they actually banded it all up together in the trailer, and so that made for a really easy transport back. So that was very awesome. It was a rainy day, so we ended up covering it with a tarp, and then a few days later, Phil came over and helped us unload the plywood into the barn. These pieces were surprisingly heavy, and I think just because of them being 8 feet long, it's just a weird distribution of weight, so I can't like pick one up by myself. But that was fun. It was just a lot of back and forth. Tess supervised. Tess, you're so cute. Who's a good girl? Is Tess a good girl? Is Tess a good girl? Tess is the best. Once we got started, we started with the ceiling, and that was kind of a pain because the plywood sheets are heavy, you're holding it above your head, so we definitely needed 3 people at least. That took some time. It was really one piece at a time kind of mentality. So with the first piece, it was probably the hardest because the house, surprisingly, is not 100% square. It's not perfect, which is crazy. But just like figuring out our kind of strategy with how we were going to install the pieces, etc. There were a few, light fixtures we had to cut around, the beams in the ceiling we had to cut around. When we got to the walls, we had to cut out for electrical outlets and vents, the windows, etc. So there was a lot to accommodate for each individual piece. Like each piece had to be drawn, measured out, cut to size, installed, and then rinse and repeat. And as we, hi Taco, as we screwed in the pieces, I followed up with wood putty to fill in all the holes. I sanded all those down, and then I filled the seams with silicone caulk. So the caulking was there. The caulking was a choice because we were nervous that the wood putty would crack during transport, similar to drywall, but the silicone would be more flexible and it still sealed the seams. So that was nice. My goal is to paint it all. Right now I'm just thinking white for now, and then we'll see how things go as I start putting in cabinets and stuff. But but yeah, it was a laborious process, but we got it done, taking it day by day, doing a couple pieces here and there, installing them all. Here I am fitting in the very last piece. It is very satisfying to finally have that all done. All the insulation is covered, which is great, so Doug can stop complaining about it. And it's breathable in there. Phil is my sneaky MVP. He surprised me by having cleaned and swept and vacuumed the whole tiny house. There was a ton of sawdust, the insulation, a lot of bad things to breathe in, and so he very kindly did that, and that was a huge noticeable impact that I didn't really realize how bad it was till it was clean, and I was like, oh my god, this is great. It's been really cool. I've been able to use both the heating and cooling of my mini split because it has been both freezing and hot as hell here in Texas. So, yay. Up next will be the painting and then flooring. So I've got to level out the floor, the subfloor, and then put in the flooring, which will be luxury vinyl plank, which I've already purchased as well. And yeah, it's coming up, it's going along, it's looking great. I'm very happy with it. And thanks for watching this update. Please subscribe to this channel for more updates, and I will talk to you later. Bye.